guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we have a very exciting PR unboxing from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the new Super Nudes collection. There is a lot in this box. I also have some other Charlotte Tilbury PR things that I've received recently. So I'm going to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury, some first impressions, review, thoughts, tutorial using this little collection. I have a lot in this box. I'm literally so grateful to be on the Charlotte Tilbury PORELESS. Every time I see it come in the door, I'm like, how has this happened? There are a lot of lipsticks in here, so I'm going to swatch them all. They're all beautiful nudes, peachy nudes, brownie nudes, pinky nudes. There's one that I can tell already that I'm going to absolutely love the most. It looks very like Dance Floor Princess, which is like my go-to lipstick. It's called Runway Royalty. So let's try all of these. We have a eyeliner. I think it's one of the duo end ones. It is. So let's have a look at all of these. We have the Nude Gasm face palette. I wanted this for so long since they did the first one. I'm hoping they bring out a darker color because this one's a little bit lighter. But like, wow. Oh, I can't wait to see this all coming together. Another lipstick, super fabulous. We have a Super Nudes eyeshadow palette, and I actually have two of these, so I'm going to be giving one away. So all you have to do to win one of these is make sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube and leave a comment below, and you'll be in the chance to win one of these palettes for yourself. I'm going to show you my one here to show you what you'd be winning. How gorgeous. The perfect kind of cool tones, neutrals, eyeshadow palette for winter. And we also have a Pillow Talk mascara, which is an absolute fabulous mascara. So that's enough talking, let's get into the makeup. I'm going to fly through the start of it just because you've probably seen me use a lot of these products already, and I want to spend the vast majority of the video talking about the new products. So I might just speed up this part, and if you have any questions on any of these, I can answer them in the comments below. Right, so I have my base done. We did all of our skincare bits, and I mixed the Airbrush Flawless Foundation in 7 with the Light Wonder in 7. I actually don't have any flawless filter on me, which is strange because I usually do, but I'm still managing to glow because this is actually a really sheer glowy foundation, while this one is a matte full coverage. So you get my coverage and my color from this and my glowiness from this. So we have a lovely base to get started with, and now let's get straight into this palette. So like I said, my first impressions is wow. So glowy, beautiful peach blush. The only thing that I think might be too pale on me is this bronzer. This one here looks lovely, but they both are definitely on the cooler side rather than like a warm tone bronzer. So I might use this more like as a contour rather than a bronzer, because I do have a nice warmer toned Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that I might use to actually warm up my face. But we'll see how we get on. I know before they brought out this palette and they had a darker one and it was a little bit warmer, so hopefully they will, but I cannot wait to give this a bash. So let's start off with this kind of slightly deeper shade. I don't know how pigmented these are going to be, so I don't want to put too much on my brush, so I'm just going to give it a little swivel, and let's see how we get on. Okay, so my first impressions is it's very creamy, and it definitely is, like I said, on the cooler side. But the one good thing about going with a bronzer on the cooler side is that's what's actually going to sculpt your face. Because when you go in with one that's really warm, like Give Me Sun or an orangey kind of warm bronzer, that's just adding color. Whereas when you actually use a cooler tone like this, the contour, that's actually what's giving the shadow to your face. Like, that's gonna give you those cheekbones. So this could definitely be something I should be using more of, because I actually never contour, just bronze. But the only thing is I wouldn't put this all up around my forehead just because I think it would be too cool. But it'd be really nice as an eyeshadow as well. But I'm actually kind of enjoying this snatched cheekbone situation that we've got going on. I'm just going to get the warmer one to show you the difference between contouring and contouring and bronzing. So you'll see in this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronzing Glow, you have your sculpt and your highlighter. And most people would use this as a highlighter or like a blush, but I actually nearly mix it with this to give a really warm tone bronzer, but a tiny bit of this on your brush, like, and You know what I mean? Like, it just warms your face, adds that like sun-kissed color that we're all looking for, and then that's what I'll kind of bring in and around my cheeks, pop on my nose and my forehead. But you know what? Maybe I should get more into the old contouring, because it definitely massively makes a difference, like shaping your face wise, and it's something I never do, hence why I always have an egg head. But I just think the one thing you need to be very careful of using a cool toned contour is that you don't put on too much, because it's definitely harder to apply. You don't want to put on too much because it will look muddy and it can give kind of like an ashy flashback, or just an ashy tone in general. So a really light hand and a fluffy brush is key. But like, I only used a tiny bit there and it looks really good, but it's definitely not too much. Like, even in the mirror, I'm really, really impressed. And like, it was so easy, and like the writing didn't even come off the palette or anything. Like, I just gave it a little twirl around, got a good bit of product off of it, and it definitely isn't looking muddy, which is ideal. I'm gonna pop a little bit on my nose. I can see now that this one is going to be way too pale for me, but it could definitely be a good option for maybe nose contouring actually, or else as an eyeshadow. But it's like, it's still a dark enough bronzer. It's just too pale for me because I have so much tan on, but it's a gorgeous palette. I'm just going to run a little bit over my lids as well, because that's what I always do. If you've ever seen me do a makeup tutorial before, you'll always see I say get a bronzer and put it on your lids before you do anything, because that is going to be your transition shade, the base that you need. It's going to make everything flow and mesh well together, and you can use any color in the world, blue, green, purple or neutrals, once you have a good transition shade. So let's get into my favorite, the blush and the highlighter. Now, as much as I want to dive straight into the blush, you might have seen me talk about this before, it's best to go in with your highlighter first, so you don't get any more ashiness, because as you'll see, a highlighter is lighter than a blush, so you don't want to put that on top of the blush, or else you never put something lighter on top of something darker. That's how you're going to get your ashiness, or like your kind of greyness. But wow, in person my skin just literally looks like it's a glazed donut. Like, I'm really turned off highlighters recently, because I feel like you put them on and you see all of the hairs and the fine lines and the wrinkles, and it looks very like heavy or something. But this actually, wow, like, I actually haven't worn highlighters in a long time. I've just been going for shimmer blushes, because highlighters, I've had such a bad experience with highlighters. And like, this is it applied dry, so on the other, oh my god, like, it actually looks like this in person. I'm very, very impressed with this now, guys. I wish I could explain what it looks like. I feel like sometimes when you put on a highlighter, you nearly see like the grains of powder and like particles of glitter. But how this looks on the camera, like really smooth, really flat. It looks like there's no product on. It just looks like it's like my skin. I haven't even had this experience with Charlotte Tilbury highlighters in the past, so this must be like a new formula. Oh, I wish you could see it in person. It actually just looks and feels like skin. Like, when I'm putting my hand on it, it doesn't feel powdery. Like, wow. Look at this. Like, you know, sometimes you'd nearly have the line, like, you'd be like, this is your skin glow, and then you have like a thicker, it's nearly like it's lifted off your skin, but it's just like completely flat. It's just, wow, I'm impressed. Going in with a different brush, this is my blush brush, and I'm gonna go in with this. Now, of course, I'm gonna lather up on this nicely. I'm excited. Now, this is probably meant to be more of like a highlighter, but I'm putting it everywhere. Oh my god, I look so cute and glazed like a donut. Anyone else with blonde hair just think that this is the most annoying thing ever. This is why I never do my makeup with just clips. I always wear like those full on, I had one here a while ago with big fluffy hair bands, but I feel like they're really distracting to people when you're filming. But like, look at this. Let's get into the eyeshadow. Right, these colors are very different to what I would usually wear, so I'm definitely gonna do my usual of going in with the warmest colors first and a big fluffy brush. Another thing that I love about Charlotte Tilbury products and just the Charlotte Tilbury kind of look is how everything is shimmer. Even the mattes have like kind of a icy finish to them. Nothing is super powdery, nothing is super matte. Her looks are very much so blending shimmer into shimmer, which is something I'm so about. And actually something that is a really good makeup tip for you guys to know. When you use shimmers, it looks like you've done more with yourself, and it's so much easier because they blend a lot easier than mattes. You could put 1 or 2 shades of shimmer on your finger and blend them together, and it looks like you're after spending hours on your makeup and you have a qualification in makeup. It genuinely does, because when you see like glitter or shimmer, it gives kind of a 2-dimensional look. Whereas when you wear like just matte, or like try blend mattes into mattes, it's obviously a lot more difficult because they're more powdery. They're they have a little bit more of a, not that they have a chalkier texture, especially the Charlotte Tilbury ones are still really creamy, but I definitely think that I just love the whole like aesthetic of Charlotte Tilbury, kind of like, I don't know the era, is it maybe like the 60s, 70s, 80s kind of vibe of makeup, when it was all about like eyes and shimmer and just really like Hollywood glam kind of vibes. Because obviously I worked in makeup for a long time, and I did like the matte cut creases and like the graphic liner. But the one thing that I love about Charlotte Tilbury is it's very much so glam, smoky liner, as opposed to like a graphic liner. Really like it, and like wearable color, which I'm so into. So I just used the first 2 shades together there, blended them in and put them in the top of my crease as my transition shade. And then just to deepen it a little bit, I went in with the smaller brush into the darker color and just focus that right into the actual socket of my eye. So the really like blunt crease, whereas I use the lighter colors up closer to my eyebrow. And like, see how quick and easy that was. Even these mattes here do have that slight kind of a tinge in them, but maybe we'll go for kind of a matte look today. I'm going to use the black to do a smoky liner, which is unusual for me. Just a little bit of smokiness underneath my eye. Like, you see how fast that was? If I was using a brush or a an eyeshadow that wasn't as pigmented, I could be going back and forth on this for ages to get any bit of color out of it. And then obviously the more you have to go over something, the more mistakes you're going to make. Whereas if you can just do one fell swoop and it's done, you're much more unlikely to make any mistakes. So I'm actually changing my mind again. I'm just gonna use the deep brown to do our little wing, our little smoky wing, as opposed to the black. Because it's actually turning into a bit of a summer's day outside today. The weather is just so all over the place these days, isn't it, guys? So we're just gonna blend that along the lash line. And you could definitely just leave it like that if you were into a like a matte kind of smoky. This is a really nice sultry look. It gives some kind of Bella Hadid, Megan Fox vibes, you know, that kind of sultry cat eye. It's a big vibe. Like, throw on some mascara now and you could be done. Like, look at that. Just absolutely delicioso. And another tip trick that I like to do is not only just put it in the center of my eye, but you see that little crease there? I like putting it right there, so it's going to open all your eye. Really nice trick for hooded eyes as well. And then I'll also put a little bit underneath the brow bone, and the difference that makes is just unbelievable, because not only is it opening your eye, it's also shaping the eyeshadow. So if you brought it up a bit too high and you're like, oh my god, why is there brown literally in my eyebrow? By doing this, you're actually after nearly erasing it, which is a nice trick to know. I've had to do that many a time on myself. And then we're going to put the shimmer right in here, like I showed you, the inner corner, but also blending it up the inside. Black liner here if you wanted to do a black eye. I think we're going to use the nude one. Let's open up those eyes, people. It's Friday, we're tired. We need our eyes to look open and awake. Really nice option if you want for a wedding, for a bride, for photography, because sometimes when you use black or brown, it can make your eyes look a little bit smaller and more closed. Nothing beats a nice nude eyeliner in the waterline, and it's not as harsh as white. So a really good tip trick there as well. Are we looking at this? Okay, I have LVL, which is lash lift. But look at that, even when my eyes closed from the side, it is like look how curled it is. This mascara, like, it's literally touching my eyebrows. And the brush is really nice. It's like It's like quite a small brush with like just little spiky bristles as opposed to like the hairy bristles. So you can get it really close to the root. Okay, time to go in with the lipsticks. So the first one is in the shade Supermodel, and this is a gorgeous kind of a berry pink tone. Wow. That is just so gorgeous. It feels really nice too, even though there's definitely been some like reformulating with Charlotte Tilbury, because this is a matte and it doesn't feel matte at all. It's not crumbing, it's not doing that kind of like weird bally thing. It feels really nice. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a matte at all. Let's zoom. Oh, it looks gorgeous with the eyes. So that is our first one. It definitely looks lovely with this kind of matte Hollywood glam look, and it's also making my teeth look kind of white, which is ideal. So that is the first one. Next we're going to do Runaway Royalty, which I think is going to be my favourite. This will definitely need a lip liner, but let's just see how we get on without one. I feel like it's going to be very similar to Dance Floor Princess, which is like my favourite lipstick by Charlotte Tilbury. It's my wedding lipstick. Okay, it definitely has a similar texture. It's more of a glossy texture than the last one. It's a little bit deeper than Dance for a Princess, which is nice, because sometimes Dance for a Princess can be kind of pale. Oh wow, this is like a winter version of Dance for a Princess, which is ideal. It kind of nearly has a mauve-y tint to it, which I usually don't like, but it's like, it's not too much. It's not like a brownie mauve. Oh wow, that is beautiful. That's really, really pretty. I really like that. So that is, what did I say that one was called? Runway Royalty. So that's the next one. Guys, I had to go and put on some lip liner. I put on a So Sue one, Who Me it's called, because this next lipstick is a very nudie nude. It's called Coverstar, and it is a very, very nudie nude. So we needed a lip liner, so I didn't do her dirty. Okay. I usually don't like brownie nudie nudes, but this is stunning. And this is similar. Actually, they're all slightly different texture-wise. This is really nice. I'm trying to blend it in. They're all really comfortable. This one's kind of like, not as matte as the first one, not as glossy as the second one. Very pretty though. Next up we have Catwalking, which is like kind of a brownie colour. Not unusual, so let's see how it applies. This one again actually is more on the creamy side. It doesn't come out as dark as it is in the bullet. Really comfortable. Ooh, this one kind of gives like a blurred effect. Oh wow. This one's quite glossy, and it doesn't look glossy at all. Like, I was expecting this to be like kind of a matte texture. But it's quite, not that it's sheer by any means, but it's definitely more of a glossy. Ooh, I'm really like pleasantly surprised by this one. I didn't think this would be, because like look how dark it is. I didn't think it would come out like this. This is beautiful. This is like the perfect like autumn nude. It has like the perfect balance between like peach, pink and brown. It's like Velvet Teddy from MAC, but much nicer. Oh, it's like Velvet Teddy from MAC, but much nicer because it's not as matte. In fact, it's quite glossy. And lastly, we have Super Fabulous, which again is a really deep brown. Let's see if this one is going to be more matte or sheer and glossy. Oh wow. A gorgeous winter tone. I always go on the hunt every single year for like a brown that's not like too brown. I like it dark, like I'll go nearly black, but I don't want it to be like poo color. And this was like a gorgeous, like, oh wow, really nice texture. Guys, that's one thing I have to say about every single one of these. The texture is just really like enjoyable to even put on. It's very, very beautiful. And the joys of going with a colour like this, your teeth, you'll see them from space. Wow, 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 wow. I actually think this is my favourite one. Okay, now that you've seen them all, I'm going to swatch them on my hand, let you know which one's there in order. You can screenshot that so you have it for reference, because I know that's why I'll always look up YouTube videos, is to actually hear out the texture, see them on, and see a good swatch. So we'll do that now. We'll start backwards. So we'll go in first with Super Fabulous, which is what I have on right now. Probably the worst swatch in the whole world. Catwalking, which was another gorgeous color. Oh wow, they look so fab underneath each other. Coverstar, I think it was. You know what, guys, I actually don't know if I'll be able to pick a favorite because they're all so stunning. Coverstar that was. And then we had Runway Royalty, gorgeous pinky color. Oh, you can see the kind of difference there between the ones that are slightly more matte and the ones that are a little bit more on the matte side and the glossy side. And then we have Supermodel here. And you know what, maybe they looked, some of them had similarities on my lips, but they are all very different on my hand. So feel free to screenshot. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I will leave everything linked below, all the colors, all of the prices, absolutely everything. And like I said, don't forget to comment below and subscribe, because you will win the literal palette that I used today to complete. Oh, you will win the palette that I used to create today's look. This one, a brand new one, of course. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave it below. I will get back to you. Everything is linked. I'll see you in the next video, guys.